Guess what, Colby?
What's that, Barry?
Who has sour balls? I've never. That's so gross, dude. You're gonna ask those guys? Of course they have sour balls. They've been working all day.
Yeah, that's why they don't get many blowjobs.
It's all vinegary.
Oh.
What's going on, guys? My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This.
Theme music.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the last movie
Yeah.
of October.
Yep, it's Halloween week.
Yeah. I hope you guys are, been super excited, been getting your costumes ready. I don't know what day this is going to fall on, but it's the last movie, so hopefully it falls on the 31st. I could look that up. There's a calendar on my computer. I just don't want to look it up right now.
I'm pulling out my phone. Keep talking.
Oh, well, no, here, I can check it out right now. Hold on. Whoa. No, it's, there's.
It is the 31st. Oh, there's
5 Sundays.
That means we got to do one more podcast.
I mean, so it's not the last one.
No.
We rarely, you know what, it's weird. We've been getting a lot of 5 Sunday months.
Yeah.
And we don't want to deprive you of one that's going to be on the day before Halloween.
No, I'm excited. I love Halloween movies, and so I don't mind doing an extra one.
Do you think there's something wrong with us that we love horror films so much?
It's a popular genre.
Right.
I follow a bunch of people on TikTok that pretty much only review horror movies. So
I know, right?
So yeah.
No, there's
so we're not
wrong with
weird.
us.
We're completely normal.
All right. Well, here is see, I made today's little trailer extra special because it was gonna rhyme and stuff.
Ooh.
But now I got to do that again for next week.
Next week will be a haiku.
Right. But now this one's gonna make sense. But whatever. It's all Hallows Eve in the air, but it's the 31st of October to be fair. A group of young kids party on on a hill, but only a few survive the night with skill. Let's see what happens in 1988's Night of the Demons.
I feel like you've put more thought into that one than any trailer you've done. Maybe not the first one. The first one you were very excited about, and then.
I know, but you know what I was thinking about? I was like, this all sounds very, it sounds kind of like what every Christmas movie sounds like.
Yes.
But it's kind of funny to do it that way. I might continue doing it that way.
I like it.
But yeah, we're talking about 1988's Night of the Demons, which I'm kind of surprised that this has gone under the radar for me. Never seen it. To be fair, it came out when I was very young.
Okay, and then we are talking about the 1998
Yes.
Night of the Demons, not the 2010 Night of the Demons.
Yeah, with Shannon Elizabeth, who doesn't show boobs, apparently.
Yeah. So, quick backstory on that real quick. Not backstory, but just
little trivia.
The numbers. This one, $1 million to make, made $6 million.
Oh, that's a success if I
Yeah.
ever heard one.
Night of the Demons, the remake, $10 million to make, $64,000 in the theater.
That's a huge hit.
That's a huge hit. That's why this one has 2 sequels and that one has no sequels.
I didn't even hear about it. And it's a shame too because I looked at the cast of the 2010 remake, and yeah, Shannon Elizabeth was already kind of older. I'd still like to see her boobs. I'm pretty sure.
That's the whole problem with the new one. It has
No
less
boob.
boobs than this.
I'm gonna let you know right now. American Pie came out in 1998 or 1998, I believe. VHS, worn out that tape during that sequence with her. It also had the main character from Freddy vs. Jason, who surprisingly I haven't really seen too much after that. I think maybe we'll one day get a resurgence of a Scream Queens.
Right.
Because lately, can you off the top of your head name anyone that's been as iconic as Ridley, Jamie Lee Curtis?
So, the blonde girl in this one,
Yeah.
that I can't remember her name.
Yeah. Freddy versus Jason girl.
No.
Oh, another girl.
The blonde one from the one that we're reviewing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Not from the remake.
Yeah.
170 horror movies she's in.
Wow. I heard
she is a scream queen.
I heard the Asian girl in here too was in a decent amount.
Mm-hmm.
She was in a Sleepaway 3, which was like a very iconic series.
Right. Right.
I mean, it's never going to beat the first one, the sequels.
I don't know how you could. That was a twist. That movie came out pre-internet,
Yeah.
so like nobody knew. I didn't even ever see a trailer or anything for it. I just rented it on VHS, and that end, wow! Like I would. No clue that was coming.
You think that's like on M. Night Shyamalan's list of like, this is why
inspirational movies
for twists. Yeah, this 1988's Night of the Demons. It's funny that it kind of went under my radar because I love like classic horror films or just like horror films in the 80s because I feel like that's where like it was the era.
Yeah.
Of like so many iconic horror like IPs coming out. You know, we got Freddy, Jason, we got Michael Myers, who I believe came out like probably like 78 or something, 77.
I think so,
but
yeah.
But it carried over.
Right.
You know, Pet Cemeteries.
Right.
Night Cop.
Poltergeist probably came out then.
Yeah, Poltergeist, Exorcist, The Omen. And they just... Do you think now it's because there's too much money in it?
Sometimes. Yeah. Well, because like Thing versus Thing remake.
Yeah.
Like there was too much money in the remake.
Oh.
And
wait, Thing versus Thing?
No, Thing and then the Thing remake.
Oh yeah.
Like both, like the second one could have been so good, but it literally they put too much money into it.
Yeah.
And they.
Well, it's sad because I heard that the studio for that actually had practical effects, but the virtual effects or whatever studio actually made practical, but then the movie studio like, no, we wanted CG, and that's where it goes.
Right.
But this movie is actually really great because of how much practical effects it's in. Right.
There are some freaky things.
Yeah. Because it almost feels like, I was like, wow, this is kind of like, it gives me the Evil Dead type of vibes.
Yeah.
Right? So.
This was definitely like, the director of this was a fan of Evil Dead. You could tell some of the scenes are like, not like shot for shot or anything, but it's like certain things, styles that Sam Raimi does in movies were copied in this, and like that's not something you normally see in movies.
And you know what? For an 80s movie, it definitely broke stereotypes.
Right?
Let's get into talking about the movie. So I forget almost everything before they get to the house. But we get introduced to everyone that's going to be into the house in different sections. So we have our what's her name? Judy, I think is her name, the blonde girl.
Yeah.
So we get introduced to Judy, very early butt shot, awesome. But she's getting ready to go to a party. She gets called by one of the more popular guys.
Right. So apparently, like there's a Halloween dance at the high school, and then they're like, you know what? Some of the friends, we're gonna go to like the old haunted house on the hill.
Yeah. And
we're gonna have a Halloween party there because school dances are lame.
Yeah. And Judy's like, who's hosting it? It's not that weird girl, Angela, right? And he's like, it kind of is. But they get invited to this, like, very popular abandoned house that's on top of the hill. So as she gets ready, we also get introduced to, what's his name? The fat dude.
Bulk from Power Rangers? No, it's not, but that's what I kept thinking. Like he reminded me a lot of him.
Oh, yeah, we get introduced to him, Roger, and another girl. I forgot her name. Suzanne, probably. No, that was the other girl. All these names are so hard. But yeah, just a meek blonde girl. And he is kind of funny enough. He's kind of dressed like a Power Rangers villain with the nose, the
little pig nose.
Super obnoxious dude. Not the kind of dude you want to be around. Surprisingly, he's with Roger though. Yeah. And then we also get introduced to Angela and her friend, the blonde girl. I think that's Suzanne. She's just, she's making an opening for Angela to steal a whole bunch of things for the party.
So Liana Quigley, I think, is her name.
Yeah, she's also in like a lot of like horror
that's
stuff,
the one. That's what I was saying. She's in 170 horror movies.
Oh, yeah, she's like, I'm not afraid to show boobs.
She was even in Phantoms with Ben Affleck. She is an unnamed character in that.
Yeah. But yeah, she's using her female wiles.
Yes.
To distract the clerk. She goes, steals everything, and then she leaves. She hits him with that line. Ooh, sour balls. Bet you guys haven't got blowjobs in a while. Which I was like, is that an opening to like, is she gonna give both of them blowjobs?
Right, because you don't know, because she's there with like her dress all hiked up with shaking her little butt so that it distracts the cashier so her friend can throw a bunch of alcohol into her Halloween bag and walk it out of the grocery store. Well, because it's a party. They're civilized.
Yeah, and then after that we get introduced to Sal, who the little brother is like interacting with. Apparently they've known each other for a while.
Right, because he dated the girl.
Yeah, they went on one date. One date, right?
But yeah, that's a sassy little brother. He's like, that kid needs a slapping.
Well, but then to be fair though, he is like trying to protect his sister too. He's like, dude,
but he's sassy to his mom as well, because she's like, look, I made little chocolate tarts, and he's like, hey, Mom, no one wants to eat them. They look like sun-dried poodle turds.
They do look like turds. I was like, why does that? It looked like she just put some Tootsie Rolls in the oven and let it melt a little bit.
Yep.
To be fair, she's just trying to keep her humble, Yep. But also, I don't know. She might be a single mom because there's no dad we see, right?
That's true.
So everyone starts congregating to this party. We drive by an old guy who they moon, and he's like, "Goddamn old kids." But then we learned that he's like one of those people that's like on urban legend stuff.
Yep.
He was putting razor blades in apples.
Yep.
First of all, you're never gonna get a kid with an apple for Halloween. I'll egg your house.
Yeah, it's true. If I opened up my bag and there was an apple, that apple's going in the trash. It's wasteful, but it's
not
honest.
On Halloween.
It's honest.
Not on Halloween.
Big orange peanuts and apples right to the trash.
Oh my God. Did you ever go trick-or-treating and someone try to give you school supplies?
No, because I am older than that.
No, that happened when I was a kid.
So
someone gave me rulers.
We had two houses on my block. One of them gave us handmade popcorn balls, and one of them gave us candied apples.
All right. Candied apples is fair.
Right. But the candy apple, we would all just like stop in front of his house and eat them and then go on to the next house.
Wait, why?
Like, because they weren't wrapped or anything. Oh. So it's not like you couldn't throw it into your candy bag, and like if you held it, the caramel's going to get all soft and like get your fingers all sticky.
I thought it was wrapped.
But like 3 years in a row, I remember doing that. It was the only house on my block that was 2-story.
Oh,
and I don't know the guy, but like I guess everybody knew him because he gave candy apples to everybody.
It's candy apple,
man. The parents weren't like, don't eat the apples from the weird guy in the 2-story. They were like, yeah, no, eat that. That's fine.
It's the 70s, yeah. Or the 80s.
It would have probably, maybe it was late 70s.
Yeah, late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been dope if he had, like, put skewers in, like, cut them in, like, individual pieces, skewer, dip them, and then wrap them up. But still, like, kids don't eat homemade candy, right?
Right. Yeah.
I think that all stopped after Anthrax.
Yeah, there was a couple years where there was just, and I guess like when they look back at like criminal records and stuff,
Yeah.
like there was never really any intentional killing of people. Like there was like
Poisonings.
one person who poisoned candy, but he did it to kill somebody in his family specifically.
Jesus.
And then a couple people got into the candy like the next day and ate it. And then like one was like somebody was making laced candy to sell, and
for drugs.
Somebody else in the family had just accidentally grabbed it because they were running low on candy and handed it out to some kids. But there was never a verified razor blade in an apple.
Yeah, that's an urban legend.
Yeah.
First of all-
Anthrax on your Snickers bar, whatever.
First of all, lucky kids who got the drug candies. Drugs are expensive.
That happened just recently. There was a kid who brought, I think they were pot brownies.
No, they were
or
they're
gummies,
Pot gummies, yeah.
to school, and like gave them to everybody because it was like, it's my birthday, here's candy for everybody, and the teacher was like, yeah, pass it out.
Yeah. Every day, everyone that day got to the gateway of drugs.
And then his big brother came home and was like, $800 worth of gummies are missing.
Oh my god, 800! Jesus,
I don't know how much gummies
yeah,
cost.
but that's a lot though, right?
He had like a whole classroom worth of that.
Hey, that teacher was like, "Wow, everyone's so calm today. I am on a roll with these jokes." So everyone starts going to the house. Funny enough, Bulk, Roger, and Anxiety, blonde girl, their car breaks down. The popular kids come. They're like, I was like, all right, like I guess
yeah, we can give you a hand.
Oh, all right. That's those are the same people that are like when a waitress comes, like she's like, "How's everything?" He's like, "You look just like you, honey. You looking good."
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, I was at a table. One of my cousin's ex-husband said that. We were at Hooters, and I was like, "Fuck, I don't want to be here." But everyone does end up getting to this party. They kind of set it up. It almost starts off very normal.
Yeah.
Right? You know, some kids break into like an abandoned house. It's like this funny urban legend. They have like snacks. They have a speaker box. They even brought one of those
strobe lights.
Yeah. I was like, man, thank God. I was like watching this movie during the day, and I was like, dude, if I was watching this at night, I might have gotten a seizure.
Yeah, my friend had a strobe light, and I remember we would do stuff. We tried to do like a Halloween little mini haunted house through my garage,
oh, that's
and
sweet.
we set up the strobe light like up in the rafters so it would flash down.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. I've never been to one of those. I don't like haunted houses just because, like, I think I did one time and then I punched somebody. Because I, like, you know, I got freaked, right?
Right. Yeah, this was like a little mini. It was like you walked in, you grabbed your candy, and then, like, you walked out the other side. And it was just... But we had, like, a mannequin that we had, like dressed up like a dead person and, like, then stuffed the clothes. And we had one person who was, like, the mad scientist with, like, dry ice and stuff. So it was, like, a good haunted house if you were, like... 6. Yeah.
6 or 7. Now
the 13-year-olds were like, give us the candy.
Yeah, like, come on. I don't even know if that's, like, good for a 7-year-old now.
That's true.
4.
Right.
But yeah, but all of a sudden, Angela is like, "Hoy, hold on, guys. Let's do some traditional creepy Halloween stuff. We're in this haunted house. You know, I'm just so happy they didn't bring out the Ouija board. They did something new." Right? They're like, let's do a seance. And I believe it was the Asian girl that's like, ooh, let's do a past lives seance.
Yep.
Super cool because I've never heard of it. You know, I've seen games like they call it the Three Kings where it's something like that, but you have to do that alone. You know, this one is a group past lives seance. So they start to do it. Sal looks like he was an extra on The Outsiders. He's like, I'm not doing that. But they start to do it. They start humming or whatever. They started doing some chantings and all that stuff. And while everyone was looking at Sal, Anxiety Blonde Girl is looking at the mirror and she sees the demon.
Yep.
Now, we don't know what's going on. Like, the glass accidentally gets knocked over in the slowest way possible.
Right. They're like, don't actually break the mirror. Just kind of knock it over on this rope. Mm-hmm. We can't afford. We got a low budget. If we need a second take, we can't buy a second mirror. So,
ooh, I know, right? $1 million in the 80s. It's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money
in the 80s. I think what was it? What was hourlies back then? Like $3.
Yes, probably even cheaper than that. My first job was in 88.
Oh, okay.
And I was $3.25 an hour.
It's sad that not much has changed. But everyone starts to explore the house. Roger's like, nope, I'm out of here. You know, my dad is a pastor, and he told me not to be messing around with these things. And Anxiety Girl goes with him because she's freaked out because she saw the demon, right?
Right.
The blonde girl, all of a sudden, the blonde girl, Suzanne, she gets possessed. You can see it by mist, and it goes into her. And then she's like, here, take Angela's car, knowing full well that the house is closed off.
Right. It's the you can't find the gate out. It's a trick.
He's like looking for a hole for the key, and he's like, there's no hole. I was like, dude, that's like solid brick. Even if there was a hole, like, how are you still opening it?
Yeah.
But everyone else goes to explore the house, but before Suzanne leaves Angela, and Suzanne kisses Angela. Right? Ooh, pork buns and and Sal are like, oh yeah. And Sal is like, all right, let me go to the bathroom with you, Suzanne. And she's like, no, I want a pork tonight. I was like, man, this girl keeps coming up with the zingers. So what's it called? Judy and fucking the guy that she's with kind of looks like the guy from The Wedding Singer. The one that Drew Barrymore's supposed to get married with?
Yes.
Very Miami Vice looking.
Right, yep.
Them and the other couple, the nurse and the Asian girl, they go upstairs and they're like, actually the nurse guy is actually dropping us a little lore. He was like telling us about the town, and like the guy's like, where'd you learn this from? The library.
Right.
Duh.
And he's like, the wall out there was placed over top of an underground river, and they that was supposed to keep the evil spirits in because spirits can't cross running water.
Yeah.
And he talks about the town, and
but like the other guys like could not look more bored about it.
Right.
The girls were actually like, oh, this is kind of interesting.
Yeah, because he's really just there to dip his wick.
Right. Right. Suzanne goes to the bathroom, leaves Big Boy all by himself, and Angela is dancing it up for Sal.
Right.
And I was like, and when I was watching her dance, I was like, I don't know to be horrified or horny. It's a fear boner, if you guys ever heard about that. But
right, because sometimes you're like, Sal should just leave, and then all of a sudden she flashes some panty, and you're like, oh, Sal should go dance with her.
But Sal decides to dip out when all the electronics start back up.
Yes,
the music and the strobe lights keep going, and then Big Boy shows up.
So you got the two people. You got Ray. He's the one. The Afro-American guy.
Oh, Roger.
Yeah. So he's like, my dad's a priest, and this is too creepy, so I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And then Sal is like, yeah, you're too creepy, and so I'm out of here.
Yeah. But Big Boy shows up, and he's like, oh yeah, party's back on. I think he's like one of the first. No. Anxiety Girl was the first kill because she disappears when she's outside with Roger.
Yep.
Big Boy is the next kill where Angela bites off his face or like neck and
tongue.
Oh, tongue. Right, and then now she like her face
because apparently I couldn't find it, but apparently there's like an uncut version, and there's like a 30-second longer where like she's like biting his tongue and he's trying to pull away, and you can see her bite his tongue off.
Nice. Oh, yeah, but now her face looks like a deadite.
Yes.
Upstairs, we have Judy rejecting Miami Vice. And he's like, oh, come on, everyone knows that you smashed Sal. So, like, what's the issue with fucking with me, you know?
Right.
And she's like, we didn't do any of that, you know? But he ends up dipping out, and he ends up locking her in the room.
I think he just closes the door, and then the house is
saving
haunted,
her for last.
So, yeah, so it locked the door on her.
Right.
Made her the final girl.
Yeah, exactly.
She's the virgin. So it's gotta.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's true. Well, is she the final girl? Let's find out when we get to.
No, I was only like because we were just talking about
Scream Queens, right?
House on the Hill.
Oh yeah.
And the virgin has to be the last one to die.
Yeah.
To fulfill the prophecy.
And what's it called? The nurse guy and the Asian girl, they're smashing in the coffin, which I was like, I don't get.
Right, because he was just like, we've never done it. And she's like, oh, I've never done it either. Let's do it. Yeah. And they get in there, and he was like, oh man, this is more uncomfortable than the back of my brother's Volkswagen.
And that's really uncomfortable. But you know, they get killed by Big Boy. Miami Vice goes downstairs, sees Suzanne, and she's like, her boobs are out. Well, before that, she does freak out Sal. He's like, you're fucking freaking me out, even with your boobs out. But Miami Vice is like, oh, boobs out, dicks out.
Right.
And they're smashing until she's like, stop looking at me.
Yeah, because she's got like lipstick like all over her face because she's half possessed and yeah.
But so she comes out with the dead-eyed face and starts smashing his eyes in.
And that's quite a pop. Like it is. It's graphic.
It's pretty gruesome. It's funny during that scene earlier when she does like expose her top, there's a switch when they go to like the prosthetics where she like inserts the lipstick into her nipple.
Right.
And I was like, why does her I was like, that's not a really good boob job. Well, but then when they switched to her normal like breasts, I was like, oh wow, that's really great prosthetics. But yeah, Roger is he's still alive. So, you know, it's the 80s. Surprisingly, he wasn't the first kill.
Right.
But he's like running in the house trying to see what's going on. And he's like, oh no, I'm out of here again. And at this point,
he wants to save people, but he wants to save himself the most. So he keeps coming in to help people. But as soon as things get scary, he's the first one that's.
I would too. Like, bolts. You know, you want to be a hero, but can't be a hero if you're dead.
Yeah, right. So true.
What's it called? Yeah, and so Suzanne, she kills Miami Vice. So death count right now really. Oh, Angela's not really like the possessed ones aren't really dead. I guess they're just possessed, right?
But they it's like
because they just get inhaled, and Suzanne passes it on to Angela.
But I feel like it's like the first two are like possessed, and then everybody else is like dead and then brought back. Yeah,
they become deadites.
Yeah.
So Big Boy's dead. Miami Vice is dead. Nurse and Asian girl are dead. It's fine, guys. I'm Asian, so I can say it like that. That's 4 people dead. Judy's the only one alive.
The guy in the nurse. Yeah,
nurse. Yeah, Judy's like I'm pretty sure Judy at this point is now the only person alive. So
and
now,
Roger.
Oh, and Roger. Yes, Roger. My man. Roger.
Oh, and Sal.
Oh yeah, Sal. Yeah, Sal. Yeah, it does come to a point, right? But like now it's almost just like a cat and mouse in this whole entire house. But what's it called? So like I mean, at the point like Roger does end up dying when Judy is trying to escape from the roof part.
Yeah,
and he died. I was like, oh man, he got stabbed, or he fell on a spike. Funny, a little bit of humor here. He's like, oh, it looks like Roger's gonna be resting here forever, and they already had a tombstone, and it's like his full name, his birth year, and then it says died tonight.
Yeah.
I was like, That's pretty funny. But Roger and Judy are still able to evade the rest of the Deadites. I'm just going to call them Deadites because that's what they look like, right?
Yeah.
But they get stuck in the basement, and Judy's like, I'm tired of running. And because Roger's like, let's pray. And she's like, I've been praying all night.
Yep.
Now I'm ready to fight. And she like makes like a little homemade
yeah, because it turns out that the room they're in is the crematorium.
Yeah.
And so she finds where like the gas is, and so she pulls the pipe out of the crematorium and turns the gas on. Lights a lighter.
Lights up Angela. She's looking gross, right? But they end up being able to escape outside because Roger just jumps out of a window.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm out of here. Jumps out the window and hits the ground. He's like, oh my God, I'm still alive.
And then like Judy's like, I don't know why Judy just stood there for a good minute, like about to get captured, right? But they run to the wall and Judy's trying to climb up the little barbed wire. I was like, ooh, that's... You know what?
Yep.
If you're in that situation, you're like, what's a little pain?
Right, yeah. Cut up my hands on this barbed wire or get eaten by deadites.
All right, yeah. No, that hand is shredded, though.
Yeah.
You're not like holding on each, the same, like, all right, well, it's already been stabbed right there, so let me just re-stab that. But Roger's able to get up, and he's trying to pull up Judy, but the big boy Deadite gets a hold of her foot. Now they're all getting up on her. Roger falls over the other side. He's covering up his ears because he doesn't want to hear the screams. And I was like, are we going to have our first black final man? I was like, this is like monumental right now. Like, I don't know where to go with it. But Roger, trying to be the hero the entire night, finally ends up being a hero. I don't know how he climbed that wall again, because that wall looked like about 8 to 10 feet.
Maybe it's shorter on the other side.
There's like a boulder he got on. But he's able to grab Judy as Judy was about to give up.
Right.
Like her grip was loosening. She already loosened up one hand. But Roger's like, no, I got you. And they make it over the hill or the wall. And they walk home together. And then we get a cut of the old man who was making razor blade apples. And his wife was like, oh, I made you some apple pie. And he starts eating it. And I don't know how he didn't feel it, but the blades tear through his throat.
Right.
And
she's like, how's the apple pie? And he's like, it's okay. She's like, oh, you used to love him. And he's like, it tastes funny. And then all of a sudden you see razor blades popping out of his throat.
They're like, we still have like about $5,000 to blow, so let's give it up with this one. It was a great gag, or like a great little final kill. And I don't know what the wife's deal was. Maybe she's like, I'm tired of my husband killing neighborhood kids. But we end up right there, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. It's very rare in an 80s film that you get two survivors.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Let alone one of them being black.
Right.
I was like, oh, it was about to be monumental. If Roger was the only one to survive, I was like, oh, this was progressive. All right, before we start talking about our favorite parts of this movie, let's go to our other segment, High Star, Low Star.
We got an 8 out of 10. No, 10 out of 10s. We got an 8 out of 10. One of the best Halloween movies. I'll be brief. This Halloween movie has it all. Stereotypes, the virginal female lead, the frustrated boyfriend, the cool kid, the fat guy, the black guy, the goth girl, the slutty girl, the nerd. All here. A party in a spooky location, abandoned funeral parlor on the outskirts of town, the scene of a horrific multiple murders years ago. Check. John Carpenter style synth score, definitely. Dodgy acting, and how. Honestly, an hour and a half of marvelous 80s Halloween teen horror. Put your brain in neutral and just go along for a ride. It's an easy 8 out of 10.
We have 1 out of 10. Boring. When I came across this title and saw it was a 1988 film, my first thought was, I never heard of this movie before. And I was an 80s teen '80s teen who went to all the horror films when they came out back then. This must have done so badly, it was pulled from theaters after the first week of release, and that's why I never heard of this spectacularly bad film where absolutely nothing happens for the entire first hour, and by the time the killing begins, you really don't care or have fallen asleep by then. If you must watch it, give it a go. But you've been warned, you can do so much better than that mess. Well, how the turns have tabled, because this movie made $5 more million than its budget, mister. Colby, did you have any key moments that really stood out to you in this movie?
Besides the nipple? You know what I really liked? It really sucked me in the opening credits. The opening credits were like animated. It was like a so 80s horror song.
Yeah.
And the entire song played to this animation. It was like 3.5 minutes long.
Yeah, I was like, this is a really long intro.
It was so long, but I so dug it. Like I was like, oh, well, I'm gonna look for this song on Spotify later.
I knew this movie was gonna have nude shots when like the first thing you see the main girl do. I thought she was gonna give us a shot of her vagina because she like bent over a little bit to take off her underwear. I was like, oh my god, is this one of the first vagina shots in a movie? And I was like, okay, no.
So we did get one front nude.
Oh yeah. Classic 80s bush.
Yes.
It is from Suzanne. Yeah, what else stood out to you?
I don't know. Like I said, kind of like the review said, it was like the 8 out of 10. It was campy. It was fun. Like really, like each person was so much a stereotype. But
yeah.
I love it when movies do that. Like,
yeah.
I know you're not supposed to stereotype people anymore, and you can't make fun of.
But these are like role stereotypes.
Yeah,
it wasn't like Roger didn't act like super ignorant or anything. He was like an actual good guy.
Right.
Like he was a decent person. He was like the son of a pastor. He ran the first sign of danger, like any normal human being. They were all they had the stereotypes of every classic horror movie trope, but they also like gave it a little room.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because like the fat guy, he was super obnoxious, but like when he got outside of the door, when Suzanne like kind of like shut him out, he's like, well, I just thought that we could like maybe both go in. He wasn't so like boisterous.
Right. Yep.
And he wasn't like oh, you're such a bitch.
And then the sound happened. He's all like, what's that sound? You know, like when people aren't around, he's like real.
Yeah. Angela wasn't so much of she was definitely like a Carrie type of character where she was like the weird one. Everyone knew that she was weird, but she also had enough like balls to be like, I'm gonna throw a party. Yeah, we don't get too much into depth, but like we know these stereotypes front and back if you're like a true horror fan. And funny enough that this movie was able to like somehow give these characters a little bit more room.
I maybe I love it when they do stereotypes like this because you don't have to spend 15 minutes getting to know a person.
Yeah.
If they're stereotyped, you're like, oh, I know somebody who's like that after like 1 minute. And you're like, oh, yeah, I can identify at least with that. So you don't have to spend
too much
half
time.
the movie, in character development.
Yeah, because it's a horror film, it's not to say that horror films aren't like smart. Obviously, we've been getting more type of like more art house horror films. Like Midsommar, Hereditary, The Invisible Man. We've gotten like horror films have gotten a lot more smarter, but there's something that's like just I don't know, very classic about a good old teen horror film.
Right. Yep.
Because like like you said, you don't have to spend because you really like no one wants to watch a horror film for more than 2 hours.
Right.
You're like, all right, I want to see some cool kills. I mean, the setup is always important. That's gonna dictate what kind of film you're gonna have. But yeah, just like like with movies like Scream, very limited character development, but you still kind of were like, oh, I have a friend that's like Stu.
Exactly.
Man, Matthew Lillard. If there ever was a Scream King, Matthew Lillard. I want, it's all right. It's super off tangent, but like Matthew Lillard, he's had to have taken Nicolas Cage's like master class because he's so much of a character in any film that he's ever been in.
Yeah,
but it's not. It's like it's borderline obnoxious, but like you're like, fuck, I love that guy though.
Yeah. Yep.
And this movie, sadly, it didn't really have that type of character. It was kind of spread out.
Yeah.
Sal, who I thought was going to be our final guy.
Oh,
like
right,
the last one to die.
Yeah, especially since you were getting the impression that Jane was going to be the final girl, or Judy was going to be the final girl. But then when it was like, when you find out, I was like, oh, Sal, she had dated Sal previously. You're like, oh, of course he's going to be, he's the obnoxious one, but he's going to come out to be like the hero, the good guy. And then he made it almost to the end. And then it wasn't him. That was actually a pretty good twist. You definitely didn't expect.
Yeah, this movie, I can see why this movie made a little bit more than I thought it would, because it was like kind of going outside of the box of like horror film normalities.
Yeah.
Because the good-looking like guy that was like, they went on a date, and you could tell Sal still liked her because he was cool with the little brother. He was like, come on, man, I'll give you some money and you just tell me where she's going. And which is like, it's terrible that her brother sold her out, but $5 is $5. Was it $1?
$1.
Oh. Was $1 a lot in the 80s?
No.
You're telling me I couldn't go get a cheeseburger for $1?
You could totally go get a cheeseburger for $1. And you could get a big gulp on like Tuesdays. You could get a super big gulp for like 79 cents. But
he wasn't. I guess I was like, he's not super creepy. Maybe they're teenagers. He's probably like hearts. Like he's having that teenage love. He wasn't like Mark Wahlberg from Fear. I can tell you that. Yeah. What a fucking monster that was. Someone tried to tell me that was a thriller. I was like, dude, that's a horror, dude. That's a home invasion horror film.
Yep.
Gee, I've never seen Mark Wahlberg be so freaking vile. And what made me scared more is like, is he really like that in real life? But yeah, I was like kind of super glad Roger kind of made it,
Yeah.
He did everything right in a horror film that you never really get to see. He's like, ooh, spooky noise? Not for me.
Right. There's a couple times where he's even like, Judy, come on. And she's like, I can't go. And he's just like, then I'm leaving you. Bye.
He's like, my chivalry only goes so far, lady. I was kind of like, I really wanted to see, like, it's so 80s that it just kind of ends where like they're like they get away, but you don't really get any story after that.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, man, I really wish I could see what happens. Did they like trauma bond and then like got together? That was in my head.
I would always think about that, like at the end of the movie when they don't have any kind of follow up. It's like, how do those two survivors explain what happened to their friends? Do they go back to the party? Like the police show up there and those bodies are like all like
are just gone,
right? Or because are they like mangled? Or
because when we got to the end of the film, right, there's like this huge dust of smoke,
right? Yeah,
did they just become missing people,
right? Yeah, because the spirits go to hell after sundown on Halloween. So as soon as the sun comes up, they're sucked back into hell.
Yeah. So like, did they take the bodies with them? We don't know.
Right.
And and to be fair, a lot of 80s film kind of like ended like that.
It's the mystery. It makes it better.
It like, if you're watching like a sports movie, it ends with like high fives and hugs. if it's a romance, it ends with like the couple in the back of a bus. You know what movie I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. When you said high fives and hugs, I'm totally like thinking like Rudy, where they all just like lift him up and he's like pumps his fist in the air and like then and even Breakfast Club did that. He like walks out of the building, one fist pump, boom, credits roll.
You forget about me. You know, I think did you know that what's her name, Molly Ringwald, or I think it was Molly Ringwald, like she had came out like, wow, that movie was pretty problematic. I was like, I guess, yeah, like, you know, all what's his name? What's the guy's name who did that movie?
Oh,
Hughes?
Yes.
Right, yeah. Wait, the movie I'm talking about, was that with Dustin Hoffman? The one where like they like run out of the church and they end up on the back of the bus? It's with Dustin Hoffman, right?
I think so.
Yeah. A lot of people like really misconstrue that ending because like when they get to that part, they both look sad. They're like, what's next? Like, exactly, right? Actions have repercussions. And so, yeah, this is definitely like kind of one of those things. You know who does this really, who did this like very recently, the end of It Follows. It kind of just ends like,
right,
because it's such an 80s like throwback type of movie. It ends like an 80s movie where they're just walking and then you see someone behind them. You're like, oh, is that the fucking thing that follows you? But this one just, you're never gonna know what happens. Like, did you watch the sequels?
I did not watch the sequels. I watched this one and then I watched the remake. And the remake, they tried too hard. And like it really follows pretty much the same storyline, except for like it's a big party that gets busted up, and then it's just the 8 people are like locked in the
house.
The house. And then it kind of goes from there. But like they try to make the cast the same type of people as they did in this without being so stereotypical.
Wait, so you're telling me there's no black guy in the remake?
There is not.
Oh, racist.
No black guy, no Asian girl.
Oh, that's even worse.
I didn't even think about that till you just said that. Yeah, you're right. All white cast.
Oh, how could the 2010 movie be less diverse than the 1988 film?
Disgusting.
Did you? Okay, so like this came out in 1988. You're like a teenager at the time. Did you watch this movie back then?
I don't think I ever saw this till this week.
Oh, so, okay. So were you kind of surprised?
So I did see the remake.
Okay.
Probably like 5 years ago. Because when like I saw the trailer to this, I was like, I think I saw this, but then I watched the trailer and I was like, no, I haven't seen this. And that's when I realized that there was like, it was a remake. And then afterwards, when I was kind of looking up more stuff, I was like, oh, there's 2 sequels to this as well.
Well, so then you're like, how did this go under my radar?
Right, yeah. Like this one got like 6.9 stars, and then like part 2 got like 5.8, and then part like 3 got like 5.1.
Nice.
And then the remake gets like 3.8 stars.
That has to hurt your ego as like a director. You're like, dude, I have almost like 20 more years on this guy.
Right.
And I can't make a better movie than the 1980. To be fair, I haven't seen the new Sam Raimi yet. You know, like a director that's like hailed as the new Sam Raimi. Do you think the campy horror thing is gonna go away?
I hope not. I really liked it because but when they do them, like it's all like it seems all like 80s throwback.
Right.
Like probably the last one that I saw that I really enjoyed was Babysitter. Was that what it was called? Netflix, and it was like a babysitter who was like a cute blonde girl, and then they were like, she invited her friends over, and after she put the boy to bed, she was gonna do like a seance or
that's
a ritual or something.
Yeah, that's the babysitter.
I think that one was super entertaining. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, there's like movies like that. Obviously there was the movie. What's it called? That's like a almost like a '80s kind of throwback ish. So we have the Babysitter. I Might Be the Killer. Also seems like a very like a almost like a campy one. But we also have I don't know if you've seen. I think you've seen this movie, Kobe. Final Girls.
Oh yeah.
Which is like again it's actually not a throwback, but because they go back into a movie,
right,
it becomes this throwback. But it's like super campy. It's fun. I think it's like nice. It's nice to have like these fun campy horror films. Like yeah it's gruesome, but it's like also like it's fun time.
And I feel like you can get away with like the slasher movie. If you make it a little campier, where it's like not so, because like even if like the Friday the 13th and stuff like that, and then the Halloweens, there's still always somebody who's like the jokey kid who like, you hope he gets away because he's funny.
Yeah, and it's very rarely do they ever get away.
No, they almost always die.
Yeah, because like again, like I enjoy like the heavy horror films. Like I enjoy like the Invisible Man's a horror film, like The Strangers, stuff like that. But like if you stop making movies like Psycho Gorman, which is like a campy horror film,
so good.
It's like a horror film mixed with the Power Rangers.
Yep.
But you take away those type of movies, like come on, like let's like liven it up. It makes talking about death kind of funny. Like,
yeah.
And plus, it's a great excuse to like for boobs.
Right, when you could say 80s throwback, like you almost have to gotta throw some bonus boobs, like, some bonus butts.
What happened? I need to know like what happened to the state of like horror films that we can't have boobs in there anymore.
I don't know, but yeah, like at some point it just stopped happening. It went from boobs to like bras and panties.
Yeah, and
then I don't know. Then women just stayed clothed.
I mean, like let's be fair. Like if you want to throw in a dick in there once in a while, I'm fine.
Right.
Dudes want to show their schlongs. They want to stand at attention. Whatever.
Right.
Cool.
We're all for equality, but not clothed equality. Like that doesn't make you more equal by having more clothes on. It makes you more equal by him also being naked.
Yeah. See, super fair.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it's been like, well, it doesn't really add to the story. And I was like, does it not add to the story?
Right. There is no bikinis in any sport, but the best-selling issue of Sports Illustrated is the swimsuit issue. So, yeah, no, it adds to the story.
Oh, I know. Like, I think there's like this whole resurgence of like, well, I'm only going to be nude if it adds to the story. Like, if I have to be nude. And I was like, yeah, but you also have to be naked for Jason to kill you. He only kills sinners.
I feel like the answer to that is just here's another $4,000.
Well, here's a bigger percentage of residuals. Come on.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
It's funny because like the only people that ever get nude now on like horror films are like no-name actors. Like they get like one line so they can get more money. They get nude, they get more money. And like, but like any big listers, not so much. Yeah. But this movie is super great. It's fun, and I want to let you guys know that we're coming up to our hour, so we got to end the podcast soon. But if this is the first time you guys are joining us, we have our reviews in 4 different sections. We have stream it, DVD it, Blu-ray, and apparently the Night of the Demons trilogy or box edition.
Without seeing the sequels, I'm going box set. Because I know I'm going to watch them this week now that I know that they exist.
I know. I was like, oh, now I have to watch the remake. I need to see how the remake goes. Is the remake on the Pluto TV?
It's I think I saw it on Prime.
Oh, it's on Prime. Oh, it's not on Tubi.
It's
I feel
it's
like
it's on a number of things.
Oh, okay. So you could there's definitely like a lot of places for you to watch it.
I think actually both this and both the old one and the new one, I saw full versions on YouTube.
Oh, the old one with all the boobs?
With the boobs.
It's also on the Roku channel if you guys have yourself a Roku. But yeah, I think this will be fun. Like I'm kind of mad that I never even heard about this until you told me, because this is pretty close to like it almost feels like a Sam Raimi tribute with like the way that the story is.
Right.
Yep. I mean, yeah, it's not kids in a cabin. They're kids on a house on an abandoned hill. Same thing.
Yeah, I think it's even called Hill House.
The house?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, and it adds a little bit of like, actual folklore where they say like demons can't cross, or like evil spirits can't cross bodies of water.
Right, and then the demons can come out on Halloween.
Yeah, it's super cool. And like, you obviously have all the practical effects. You have like the deadite looking demons in there, the transport. They got pretty lazy with the Asian girl and the nurse. They did not deadite their face. I think they only had enough money for Angela, Suzanne, a fat guy. Miami Vice didn't need it because he already had his eyes torn out.
Right. So he just had eyeless.
And Sal had the spike over it, but I was like, nah, you gotta give him the face. But they're like, it's almost the end of the movie, so whatever, guys.
Right, yeah. Yeah, Asian girl got her neck broke, and then so she just had, like, twisted head.
Yeah. Oh, like the bent neck lady.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to check out down our show notes down below. We have our YouTube commentary, WWT commentary, where we do commentary on movies and shows. And we have things for Halloween.
If you want to watch along and not just listen.
Yeah. Oh, well, a shortened version, watch along.
Right, yeah. We cut just the good stuff. And then, of course, we got our socials, our Facebook and our Twitter and that kind of stuff. And that's the easiest way to get a hold of us and tell us how much you like us and give some suggestions. And, you can like and share, every little bit of support helps.
Right. All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watched This. If you guys want to check out who does our theme music, it is Lee Rosevere. It's called Arcade Montage. It's on our album, Music for Podcast 3, and our Bandcamp is down below.
Thank you.